Hello everyone. I welcome you all to this mind blowing session of Reset Your Mind to Reset Your Life. Now, you must be wondering, why is it mind blowing? This is because when I was introduced to this concept for the first time, that your thinking is actually driving your life, I was totally mind blown. And I was as if, but I am thinking in my own head. It is my choice and it is my private space. How can it drive my life? I mean, I am not going out in the world and doing bad to other people. Then why is my thinking in my own private space, in my own head, is affecting my life or is affecting the kind of money I earn or the kind of relationships I build? And when I started researching for that topic and I started going deeper into it, I understood what it really means. So, reset your mindset to reset your life is going to open up many new avenues, at the same time, many new opportunities for you, provided you are committed to work on yourself. If you are really committed to do your assignments, to do your homework, and if you are ready and courageous enough to go within, address those wounds, address those limiting beliefs, and then take that step to move ahead so that you create a miraculous future for you. If you are that person, then this session is for you and this place is the right place for you. So let me share my screen and let me see what opens up for us all today. Yes, so I hope that you can see my screen. Yeah. Reset your mind to reset your life. Now, as you can see on the screen, there are many things that we are going to talk about, but the basic things we are going to address is two modes of thinking. Two modes of thinking. If you have attended the last sessions means listen closely. How does law of attraction work? And shift your patterns, shift your life. If you have attended these two sessions, then you will understand what I mean to say today very clearly. And if you haven't, then I request you to go back and see the recording of those sessions, which is available on Facebook group Aura Transforming Lives, as well as on my YouTube channel, Dr. Pallavi Kher. So the name of the video is Shift Your Patterns, Shift Your Life. So in today's session, we are going to talk a step ahead of our previous one. So what are two modes of thinking? Default mode and deliberate mode. Default mode and deliberate mode. Now, default means autopilot. What is this autopilot mode? So in our session, how does law of attraction work? Or in our last FB live, shift your patterns, shift your life, I have talked about it in detail, how our beliefs are formed, how our patterns are formed. And we all operate from a particular pattern of thinking. We think about certain things in a particular way or in a particular fashion because we are wired that way. We are wired that way. We have that default mode of thinking, and that comes from our past experiences and from the atmosphere and messages that we have absorbed from our parents and teachers around us when we were too little, and we might not have the memory of that time. So maybe below 6 years or below 8 years of age. At that time, our subconscious mind was absolutely absorbent, and our conscious mind was not as developed as it could filter the information. So default mode means autopilot, where we start thinking from our past experiences and our patterns of thinking. And deliberate mode means when you choose to break that pattern and start thinking in a new way to create your new emerging future. That is called as deliberate mode. That means direct thinking. Direct thinking means redirecting your thinking pattern. Deliberate mode means deliberately thinking, not being a victim to your default mode of thinking, but choosing certain thoughts, because now you are aware that what you're thinking is going to create your future. Now, what is default mode? Let us see. See, in default mode, limiting beliefs are already set to your default mode. So we all are operating from certain things, and we have experiences, right? If you are an adult, then you have some memories about your childhood, you have some experiences, good, bad, whatever it is. And all those experiences, whatever you had, have made you think in a particular way. And every person has different experiences, so every person has a different viewpoint, and according to these viewpoints, or according to the outcome you have had in the past, you create a certain belief, where it might be empowering belief, it might be limiting belief. But now that we are here to create our amazing miraculous future, we are addressing our limiting beliefs and how we can convert or leverage it to convert into empowering beliefs. So limiting beliefs are already set to your default mode, and it is encoded in the default network of your brain, that is called as automation of certain thinking. When you give this thought again and again to yourself, it creates a belief. And this belief is encoded in the default network of your brain, and it creates automation of certain thinking. That kind of neurons are formed in your brain constant constantly, and then it creates a particular way of thinking. It is useful for our daily routine activities to become effortless. So what is auto coding, or what is default mode of thinking? For example, when you learn to drive a car, you are actually struggling to handle how to change or shift gears, how to manage to use clutch and accelerator at the same time, or how to see and guess the width of the car, and how to manage the steering, and you're doing everything at the same time, and you find it really really difficult. But when you do this activity every day for a particular period of time, for a month, 2 or 3 months, after some months you become so good at it that you can listen to music, you can think about your day, you can just talk to the person who is sitting besides you. So you start doing many things at a time, because now driving has gone to default mode. So this default mode or autopilot thinking has helped us in doing our certain regular tasks in an effortless way. So, for example, folding your clothes, washing your utensils, commuting from one place to another, doing certain things, brushing your teeth, or cooking, and certain daily activities which doesn't take much of your effort and energy or your thinking, are the activities that are coming from automation. And this is really useful, but it becomes a problem when we are not able to change this default mode according to our advantage. So what is that default mode which is not working for us? It is these limiting beliefs, like I cannot lose weight because in my family everyone is diabetic, everyone is overweight, so I cannot lose weight. I am the way my parents are, I am the way my grandparents are. So it's hereditary. Nowadays, this belief is very common because people are suffering from autoimmune diseases, and they tend to blame their parents and grandparents. And this is what is their default mode of behaving. I am not likable. No one loves me. No one likes me. Sometimes this also becomes your default mode of thinking, when whether you are liked or whether you are loved is based on what you do and what you don't do. So when you get certain experiences in childhood related to this, you go into this default mode. I cannot be successful because I don't have this, I don't have that, or I am not very good at certain things. How can I be successful? Success is made for other people, it is not for me. When you start believing in this, you create the same reality in your life. You actually attract certain incidents, situations, behaviors of other people, which again affirm this belief that you are not likable, or you cannot be successful, or you cannot lose weight. And so this happens, and this belief gets strengthened when you go out, start taking efforts to lose weight, and you don't see any results. You start behaving really well to people, and still people don't seem to like you. You try certain hustles, or you try to start a business, but you think that, oh, it's not making me successful. So all these things are actually making you affirm your belief in your limiting belief. And this is why default mode, I mean, decoding the old patterns, default mode is ruling our life. And this is ruling everyone's life in some or other way. The only difference in between people who are living their limitless lives and us is that they have identified this and they have chosen to work upon it. This default mode is working. This default mode is working against your success, peace, and happiness, because the role of your default mode is to make you survive in the world and to make you alert. You're thinking about the changes you want and then you start worrying. This is what default mode is. Someone tells you, no, but you can be successful if you try this business. You love this. If someone else says, I love you, I like you are a very good person, but then you start thinking, why are they saying I love you and I like you? Maybe they want something from me. Maybe they have some selfish motive. Why are they talking so nicely to me? Because my belief is that I am not likable, I am not lovable, and no one in the world likes or loves me. So my limiting beliefs stop me from believing in the possibility that I can be likable or successful. And that's why whenever such possibility or experiences or opportunity arises, I start worrying. So when you start worrying, you just justify how success is not possible, how you are not likable or lovable, how you cannot lose weight. And this is very common because someone in the past has trained you. And if not someone in the past, then at least you have trained yourself to tell that you are not successful or you are not worthy of joy and love, because certain experiences made you believe that you are not successful, and then you train yourself to believe in that. So it becomes like a continuous process practiced on a daily basis. So you assume, expect, and predict that bad things are going to happen to me, bad things are going to happen. You start assuming, and what you expect happens in your life, because your expectations create that energy field which attracts the similar situations and similar behaviors of people, which give you opportunity to actually go and worry and doubt the possibility. For example, if there is any opportunity of a successful business, or if there is an opportunity to meet new people and make new connections, then you go out once and then you come back and you say, and you start expecting maybe all the other people in that party or in that group are actually successful because they have this family backing, they have this advantage, they have this strength, they are good at that, but I am not good enough and I am not actually trained for all these things. Maybe I'm not made for success, or maybe because I look in this way I am not lovable or likable. So you expect people not to like you, you expect success not to reach you, you expect peace of mind to stay away from you, and what you expect starts happening to you. So by like attracts like, manifestation or law of attraction starts working in this way, that your beliefs, your limiting beliefs, your deep seated limiting beliefs get affirmed through through these experiences. And it is a fact that bad things will happen, bad things will happen to everyone. This is how life is, this is the law of nature. Change is the constant thing, is the only constant thing in the world or in the universe. So if you think that now I will always be happy, I will always be happy, if your happiness is dependent upon the situation, and if the situations are not your way, then you will not be happy. So remember, your happiness can be a constant quotient, and what happens to you may change. Sometimes things may not be your way, sometimes things will be very good, sometimes people will not behave according to it, and sometimes you will find out that, oh wow, this is what I like, and you will get opportunities to celebrate. But there might be many times when you find yourself in arguments, in unnecessary things, and you think that, see, bad things are still happening to me in spite of getting this training, in spite of getting myself coached one on one. My dear friends, life will always throw challenges at you. And this doesn't mean that you don't deserve happiness and success. It is not what happens to you. It is about how you react to what happens to you. And this is called as deliberate mode of thinking. This is called as deliberate mode of thinking. So in deliberate mode of thinking, we are actually training you to choose your thought. Why is it important to choose your thought? Because if you don't choose your thoughts, then default mode will make you believe in failures or in something which is not likable, and then you will keep on attracting certain experiences and people again and again, which will happen in a pattern. The same pattern will keep on repeating, and you call it life. Life is meant to experience joy and love and success, and it will happen only if you start recognizing this default mode of thinking, and you start choosing deliberate mode of thinking. If you are thinking about bad things to happen, then it becomes your default mode of thinking, and we most of us are actually thinking from default mode. I know that my spouse is going to yell at me now. I know that my spouse doesn't love me and this is going to happen. I know that my boss is never going to give me a promotion. I know that I'm not going to get a job because I'm doing this for now many months. And if it hasn't happened to me yet, there is a less possibility that it will happen ever. If you have this kind of thinking and if you're operating from that default mode, then yes, you're going to attract the same. Now, coming to the beautiful part, deliberate mode. What is deliberate mode? Deliberate mode of thinking is a skill you develop, because if we all are operating from default mode, then this deliberate mode of thinking is something which doesn't come naturally to us. And what doesn't come naturally to us, we need to get trained. This is a skill to develop. So you need to master and practice this skill. So if you are ready to master and practice the skills, then it is going to change your life, because it is not an event, it is a process. If you think that someday magic will happen, I will get a magic wand and I will change everything. So it is not an event, my dear friend. It is a process. You have to go through a process which might be longer, which might take more time, which might take more energy, and which might demand more of you. So it's a process which will keep you in a space of discomfort. But if you keep on choosing your thoughts deliberately, then it will certainly change your future. Now, if you ask me what is deliberate mode of thinking and how it is done, then I have a simple example to present in front of you. It is just like trying to write with your left hand if you are used to write with your right hand. For example, I am a right-handed person. If you ask me to write with the left hand, it is really difficult for me. It is really difficult. I may not be able to draw a good A or B even. Forget about writing the whole sentence. So it is absolutely difficult. I am cautious and I may take a lot of time to write even a single word, correct? But if you give me a choice to write with my right hand, then I will be able to write a lot of words within 5 minutes. Agree or agree? Thank you for your response. So this is what is deliberate mode. So it is like trying to write with your non-dominant hand. So you direct your thoughts deliberately to grab your pen to write with left hand, and in the beginning your handwriting will not feel familiar to you, and you will feel as if this is not the way you actually every day you write it every day. Same about your thoughts. Same about your thoughts. When you will start thinking from deliberate mode, your mind will start resisting it, and your mind will try to put you in that default mode of thinking, so that you again start thinking about worry and anxiety about future and past. But now, deliberate mode of thinking, if you choose these thoughts deliberately, you are actually operating from your emerging future. What do you need to do today to create that future? Is your mode of thinking, correct? And it will take enormous efforts for you to think thoughts that are supportive, optimistic, full of possibilities. Because because the fact is that there is no person in this world who is optimistic and positive all the time, 100% of the times. There is no person, because we are human beings. We have experiences, we have beliefs, we have some limiting beliefs, we have some empowering beliefs. And if you talk to any successful person, he or she will admit that their success is not the result of only successful experiences, but they have gone through many failures. And their deliberate mode of thinking and their enormous efforts to think thoughts that are elevating, supportive, and empowering have made them achieve this success, right? So this is the work. This is actually a kind of hard work of changing patterns in your mind. And this work is hard, it is going to take a lot of commitment from you. And that's why many people and most of the people in the world are still operating from this default mode. But if you are aware and if you are here listening to this session right now, then I am sure that you are the one who is going to choose this deliberate mode of thinking, because it is a power of choice that you make. Yeah, it is a power of choice. The way you think is a choice you make. If you want to judge a person, it is a choice you make. If you want to let go of that judgment and create a new thought for that person so that you create a new future with him, it is also a choice you make. So there is no parent, there is no teacher who is standing behind you or who is standing in front of you to see what you are doing is right for you or not. You are your own teacher and you are your own person. You are the writer of your destiny. You are the author of your life. So what choice you make is also your choice. You're either going to repeat the thinking patterns or you are going to evolve them. So if you're going to repeat the same thinking pattern in default mode, then don't get surprised to get the same experiences of the past. And if you are going to make a choice to evolve and to create a new future by thinking deliberately, then it is possible that you can change your thinking and you can change your life. So when you change how you think, you will change how your life looks like. So deliberately thinking training is actually a training. So think this, not that. That is a reminder we have to give ourselves every now and then. Think this, not that. So maybe something bad happens to you, or you have certain arguments with your boss or your partner or any family member, and you just go in that zone of complaining. I know that this person does like that. Then your mind will do a very good job. Do you remember even 1 year back, he had done the same thing? Do you know that this person is dangerous for you? The moment your survival instinct is active, you will stop looking at the brighter side of the person. Now that person is good or bad is according to your perceptions about that person. That person is a combination of many good and bad qualities. But now that you don't have a good experience, you are only looking at the darker side of of that person, and this makes you paint that person black, right? And then when you continue to focus on that dark side of that person, then the same experiences, or you are going to attract the same kind of behavior from that person again and again, because this kind of behavior of them is reaffirming your belief in that limiting block that this person is like this, and you think that because they behave like this, I feel that. But the deliberate mode of thinking is that what I radiate from me is the same thing that is going to get attracted towards me. So if they are behaving or thinking in this way, then I am the source. I am the source. When say I am the source, it is not to blame you, but it is to make you feel powerful about taking responsibility of your thinking, about taking responsibility of your life, because you can create your future your way. Now, because of the time constraint, my dear friends, I cannot go deeper into this topic, but this is what we do in our one-on-one coaching program, Life Transformation Intensive. We do total mindset shift and we make you deliberately think in the favor of your future. So it will definitely keep you in a lot of discomfort, but this is what is going to make you create your emerging future. So action steps for you. Are you ready for these action steps? If yes, then raise your hand and say yes and ready, because these action steps are very important. It might give you an amazing breakthrough for your life, or it might give you some discomfort, but amazing rewards as well. Number one step is, what is your limiting belief about yourself? Now, we all have different limiting beliefs. So maybe your parents or teachers taught you to think like this about yourself. So maybe some people have that belief that they are not intelligent, they are very slow, or some people he can't focus at one thing for a long time, or my child is naughty. Then you feel that I am not good enough, I am naughty, I am angry, I get angry very fast. So there are certain things which are planted in your mind because of the repetitive statements that have come from your elders. Recognize which is your limiting belief about yourself. Number two is, take your journal and pen. So now in your journal, write down the second one. What were your setbacks of life that made you feel unworthy? Identify the setbacks of life, like I am not good enough, my mental health is holding me back, I can't run a successful business, money is always the issue in my life, I am scared to fail. So all these beliefs are going to they have come from certain experiences. Now it is challenging for any person to go back to your life and do this work on personal level, but it becomes very easy when you work with a coach, because they help you go within and start exploring those uncomfortable spaces in your life. And then when you identify, then you can actually do something about it. So we all have these setbacks of life which make us feel unworthy. Identify what that is. What is it costing you to choose what is it costing you to choose to repeat it? Now, if this is your present life, now just look into your life and see what are you paying in return of that belief. If you have accepted this belief, I can't run a successful business, what is it costing you? Maybe it is costing you millions of dollars. If you think that my mental health is holding me back, then just what is it costing you? Maybe it is costing you to create a wonderful relationship, maybe to start a new relationship with someone, or to start a business, or to take a good care of your physical health. So what is it costing you? Write it down. If I don't evolve, what is it going to cost me in the future to continue to think that I am not a good person? And if I don't choose to think deliberately, and if I don't choose to evolve, then how is it going to affect my future? And what is that cost that I am going to pay in the future? And number 5 is your lifetime job. Your lifetime job is, this is not, see, listen to me closely. Whenever this comes from within you, always remember that this is not God talking to you. Many people think that if it is coming from within me, then God is telling me that I shouldn't do this. God will never come and tell you that you are not good enough. God loves everyone equally. God will never come to you and say that you are not likable. God will never give you a feeling of scarcity. It is your limiting belief, it is your own created thing. So don't bring God here. So it is just a default setup of your brain. And I don't have to have the future where I constantly say negative things to myself. Always remember, you don't deserve this future where you always think about bad things about your future. And that's why I am here to let you know that this is something which requires some work, and this is something which will ask you to go out of your comfort zone. So I don't have to reprogram or your default way of thinking. You can reprogram your default way of thinking and choose your own thoughts. The default becomes courageous, loving, and empowered. So when you work on yourself, then you actually start working on yourself in a very empowering way. And then this default, with time, with processes, and with right efforts and right guidance of a right coach, this default becomes a deliberate mode of thinking. And then when it becomes courageous, loving, and empowering, remember, right people love me. If you think that you are not lovable, always remember that there are people who can love you. So right people love me is your new belief. If you think that you are too old to start anything new, then you can just get open to this thought. I have a lot of experience, so how can I use this experience to set up my business? If you think that you have too young to start something, then the bright side or the truth is that you have a lot of time. I have a lot of time to learn, so I can learn anything and create anything for myself. If you feel that you are not made to be successful, then always remember, success comes to me with right efforts and at right time. And if you think that happiness is not for you and you always feel sad, then your new belief is, I am here to be happy. So this, what I just stated, is your deliberate way of thinking. Right people love me, I have a lot of experience, I have time to learn, success comes to me with right efforts, and I am here to be happy. This can be your deliberate way of thinking. I hope that this today's video or today's session has added a lot of value into your life, and I also look forward to listen to your experiences. What did you find in this session? What are your learnings, and what what is that one thing which resonated the most to you? What is that one thing which you feel that after this session something opened up for me, and maybe I am operating from default mode of thinking, and if I deliberately think in this particular way and I choose deliberate thinking, then my emerging future of this particular thing is possible. Maybe you have a dream of relationship, maybe you have any dream or goal of earning a lot of money, maybe you have a goal for your health or any personal desire or wonderful future for your children. Then deliberate mode of thinking is definitely going to help you. And remember, this work is absolutely easy and possible with the help of coach. What will happen if you don't do it? Nothing will happen. You will be carrying this trauma to the further generation, and they will be transferring it again to the next generation. So if you want to create a beautiful world, things starts with you. So when I heal myself, I actually start healing the world. So this much is for you today, and see you in the next session in the next week with another beautiful and wonderful topic. And I hope that you have a beautiful weekend with your family. I absolutely am grateful to all the amazing souls who come here, listen to these sessions, and they get immense value. So till the next time, keep smiling and keep shining. Till then, take care, bye bye, and lots of love to you and your family.